Hello, welcome to the video, and following on from the last Pi video where I did some temperature comparisons of the FLIRC and some other cases, I've actually just got the ARGON NEO 5. So that's just turned up from the Pi Hut. So let's have a look here. All I've done is break the seal. I haven't even had the box open yet. I like the way you can never get into these. Let's try this. There we go. So there it is. Just snug fit in there. So it's a red and black sort of deal. It's made out of metal that slides on. Okay. So I'm not quite sure. I think, yeah, feels like aluminium. So it's been painted black. Looks very nice. And yeah, the bottom's red. So, taking it apart, what we've got is, clearly you can see where the CPU die lies. We've got two thermal pads, some rubber bumper feet, and a cover for the SD card by the look of it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and look at that, that's a nice touch. They've even put a captive receptacle in there for the bolt. How about that? Really nice touch. Yeah, so this slides on, and you can pop a couple of bolts through there by the look of it. Alright, and on the bottom here, yep, so what we've got is a couple of thermal pads that will just drop in, it'll bolt through, and then you can put the fan header in. So this is an aluminium case that's actively cooled. Fan feels to be quite nice. We won't know until we power it up, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it the same thermal test that I ran on the FLIRC. So yeah, we're going to see exactly compared to what that is. Well, still got access to all your GPIOs by the look of it. Does feel quite nice. There's quite a bit of heft there, so that will just pop in there like that. Let's have a look. Yep. The case will provide the clamping action, and then your GPIOs will be in here like that. This just plugs into your fan header. It's nicely labelled. Does feel quite nice actually. Red power button, just translucent. Nice. And then the cover will go on like so, and that's what it will look like. Very nice. Now the thing to notice here is the fan design looks to pull the air in from the back across the fins and blast it over the top. That's really nice. Really nice. Okay. Let's just put that together. Yeah, that's quite a nice looking case. It's not as nice as the last ARGON NEO I had, but it looks to be very well designed. Okay, so what I'm going to do is fix this together properly. Okay, so whilst putting this together, before I do the actual test, I don't know, let's see if we can get this to focus. There we go. So as you can see, that the thermal pads actually contact the CPU and the very small chip in the corner, which looks like that. Now these thermal pads, one side of the plastic covering is much thicker than the other, so when you take that off, it does go a bit gloopy, sort of, for want of a better explanation. And it goes really tacky, so there can be a bit of a pig to position. But as you can see here, the pad for the CPU is not as nicely cut as the FLIRC. So once that's done, all we've got to do is present up the Pi. There we go, and that goes down like that. And then we put the screws in. Now the screws are all the same size, which is a nice little touch, because at least then you can't get any wrong. So trying to do this on camera is not as easy as I'd normally do it. Right, okay, and that's because that goes through there like that and holds it in position. Yep. So you then put your 4 in, and we'll just nip that up rather than monkey fist it. Now interestingly, it doesn't cool the RAM. The RAM is rated to 85 degrees anyway, the same as the CPU, but doesn't seem to contact that, which I find a little bit strange, but there you go. Okay, so they're in, and that's quite a nice fit. Now what it tells you to do is to route the cable around inside the case over the RAM chip and then back up and then into there, but I'm not going to. For the case of what I want it to do, I'm going to go straight into the fan header. So let's have a look here, and I believe that goes in like so. That's perfect, and that's how that's going to live for me, and that for me is fine. So I'm going to fix the case on. There we go. The right screwdriver might help. Okay. So there we go. For the top ones, there's no need to really nip them up mega tight because it only holds them on. Now for the bottom, I'm just gonna, there we go. And that is how you put it together. 4 feet go on, and these are just like any other stick-on bumper feet. They just get massaged into position. I'm sure if you've done these before, it'd be nothing new. There we go. There we go. Very nice. And then it's the micro SD cover. I'll just go over there like so. Perfect. That's not so much of a problem because I've got to put the card in yet, but yeah, it feels like a nice bit of kit. So now that I've built it up, let's finally get over to the Pi and see how it performs. Okay, so here we are on the desktop. You can see I've got HTOP running. I'm on a 4 gig Raspberry Pi 5. This is the one that was in the original official Raspberry Pi 5 case that I showed you in the last video. So this is why I didn't stick the heatsink on, because I knew this this case was coming. So as you can see, we're running and idling right now at 35 degrees, as you can see in the top right. So I'm ready to run the stress test. I'm going to do it the same as I did before. Everything's identical to the last one, so it'll be direct comparison. So as you can see in the bottom right, I've got the command ready to execute in the terminal. And yeah, so let's start this bad boy up and see where it gets to. Well, here we are back after the test, and now, just like with the FLIRC, I run this for 30 minutes, and that's because of the aluminium case, it takes a lot longer to actually reach equilibrium than it does with something like the active cooler. So yeah, 30 minutes shows exactly what was going on. And although the case still feels warm now, the fan is actually off, and the fan doesn't cut in till quite late, and it's still quite silent. Right now we're at what, 40 odd degrees, and it is coming down slowly, but you can't even hear the fan. Even when it comes in, it's still so minimal. It's really nice. So let's have a look at the results. Here we go. Right, so this are the results for the ARGON NEO 5, and as you can see here, there's a very, very long ramp up where it takes a long time to actually get up to temperature. Just like with the other coolers, there's an immediate jump because you're putting it to 100%, and then slowly it's saturating the aluminium, as you can see going up here, and that's the same until pretty much halfway. And there you can see that it's starting to fight the fan. So the fan's come on, it's barely audible, and for the rest of the test it's sort of ticking over. And I had to put my ear up to it just to hear it. It's that quiet. Well, it might be because my other computer's next to me, and that's, well, just about as noisy as you can get. But anyway, it's really quiet all the way along here until it starts to get to a certain point. You can see the fan's kicked in even more, and it's brought it back within, well, low 60s. So at the top, I've averaged out from the middle of the graph to the end, and that is 64.2 degrees. And this is stock. So there's no overclock, no other messing around. It's exactly what you're getting. So this cooler is really nice. I really like it. It looks nice as well. Now I am planning to do an overclock, but that's a lot more test runs, and I won't be doing that today. But I think even with an overclock, you're not going to get anywhere near thermal throttling. You could probably run this at 3 gigahertz, and it will sit there stable. So yeah, ARGON NEO 5. Absolutely superb. So all I'm going to say is check out my other compadres in the description, and thanks for watching.